Godzilla 1998 is one of my all-time favorites, but I feel like the lore behind it fell flat, and the giant fan base that this movie has really missed what it's all about. The movie isn't just your typical monster destroys the city and makes babies underground type of movie. The screenwriters knew that this kind of movie wasn't original, so they gunned for a deeper backstory. We all know the hit movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and if you don't, here's a small summary.
They bought it.
Ferris Bueller is a dick down ass up kind of character. He loves to fuck people over. It doesn't matter if it's his principal or his best friend, as long as he doesn't have to go to school and be a normal human being. He's what you say an asshole degenerate frick face cum dumpster. It's a pretty accurate summary of him and what this movie is all about.
Now that's what this is all about.
But we still love him because really we're all just insecure incels who think it's cool to be edgy. So with this in mind, the screenwriters thought that Godzilla 1997 should not only be a smash my bitch city up kind of movie, but also a sad rom-com sci-fi action revenge movie. So let's get into the nitty gritty backstory that most people missed because they weren't smart enough to see through the lens of superficial storytelling filled with shitty action scenes and bad acting. At the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, we see a separation of friendship. Cameron, Ferris Bueller's best friend, has a whole lot of trouble coming his way thanks to his so-called buddy. Ferris convinced him to steal his father's car.
It is his fault he didn't lock the garage.
And at the end it got wrecked falling out of a garage window, and Ferris did what he does best. He bailed. Just like a Twitch streamer who ditches for a couple of months and then comes back because he needs money, or like a dad who goes out to buy cigarettes but then mistakes a taxi for cigarettes, and then an airplane for cigarettes, and then Lithuania for a cigarette, and then you never hear from him again. So, after that, Cameron's dad comes home and totally goes Macho Man Randy Savage on his ass and then kicks him out. With Ferris nowhere to be found, Cameron takes a bus to New York City and tries to start a new life. But quickly, with or without Godzilla in it, Cameron finds out that New York City can be a horrible place if you have nothing. He tries to apply to jobs, but no one wants to hire him because of his quiet demeanor and shy beta male looks. This leads to the chapter of Cameron living on the streets and being homeless. Meanwhile, his ex-best friend Bueller has also moved to New York under the name of Nick Tadopoulos. This because of a witness protection program from his principal, who went mad and tried to kill him at numerous occasions. Not that he didn't deserve it, but even the FBI couldn't say no to this cool yet boyish charms. But also, they're edgelords. So life for Ferris was also different but much better. He fakes his way into university and starts studying to become a doctor of some sort of science. I actually don't know what, but in the Godzilla 1586 movie, he's an NRC scientist, whatever that is, am I right? 10 years passed, and the year is now 1996. Ferris is working as an NRC scientist, as I said, but Cameron lives in a cardboard box next to the newly opened Starbucks. On a warm summer day, this guy weirdly wearing a lab coat outside came up to Cameron and told him about a job opportunity. Cameron, high off of Axe body spray and catnip, didn't think it through and just went with the mysterious man. He took him to an off-the-books underwater facility where they tested new type of drugs on people. Cameron was put up for a new type of male birth control drug, and the tests were pretty harmless. They gave him a glass of water and a pill every morning, and at night he had a one-on-one meeting with a sex robot with reproductive lady parts. But the tests were failing. This robot was shitting out half Cameron, half kitchen products every 2 months, and the scientists got more and more frustrated. After a whole 2 years of testing and enough toasters for half of the population of New York, one scientist sneaked into Cameron's room and injected him with a newly made serum that they haven't even tested on animals yet. And this is how it all started. After 1 week, Cameron started to produce scales instead of skin. And after a month, a whole tail was formed from where his spine used to end. And one night, a 10 feet tall Cameron slash iguana looking motherfucker busted out of his cell and went berserk on everything that moved in the facility. The only one that survived was Sharon, his sex robot but now wife. Standing in a pool of blood and lab coats, a burning pit of fire stirred in his stomach, and visions of an egotistical man-child flashed before his now giant eyes. The blood on the floor reminded him of his dad's red car and how Ferris cum dumpster Bueller ruined his life by destroying it. And Cameron? He wanted revenge. Cam swam around the seas gathering power, defeating whales and the biggest octopuses he could find, and he didn't even use 10% of his power. And man, he was plotting his revenge against the man that hurt him. And then, as a last trial of power, he attacked a Japanese fishing vessel in the South Pacific Ocean, leaving one seaman to live and tell the story. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the backstory and beginning of Godzilla 12,000 BC. Hope you enjoy your heightened senses of what true cinematography is. Thank you.